Okay, let's try not to bleed on the paper here. Yeah, I know I have a wound on my finger. Sometimes I get nervous before I do this stuff, and I sit for like a couple minutes and just bite my fingers. It's a bad habit. I think I get it from my mom. I think she bites her fingers a lot, and but it's something I tend to only do when I sit down and I'm about to draw, because I know what's about to happen. It could go wrong for me. So we'll see. If it goes wrong, we got it on camera, and maybe I'll share it, maybe I won't. But I'm going to try to do something simple, like Elan Vital's face, because if I try to do something really complicated, I know I'm in for a world of hurt, and that's the last thing I want to record, to be honest with you. So usually what I do is, like a lot of artists, I'll kind of start and I'll just make a shape, usually a circle for the head. This way I kind of get an idea of where on the page, I guess the where I'm going to start. You can divide it up if you want. You could, I've seen people do this where they put kind of the cross in there so you can know where the eyes go and the mouth goes and all that stuff. Luckily for me, Elan has a TV head essentially. He's got a couple different heads, and we'll see which one it takes me to. A lot of times if I think too much about what I'm going to draw, it could be bad, and if I don't think enough, it gets frustrating. So it's always about finding that balance. My life is constantly about finding balance. So okay, so we got kind of the head shape and everything. Now what we start doing is we start shaping the head essentially. So we have like a line, kind of going here, and a line kind of going here. To kind of, and they don't have to be perfect. I really don't care if it's perfect or not. Nothing should ever be perfect when it comes to art. And I think once you realize that, art becomes a little bit easier to create. Art is exactly like people. We exist to be loved and hated. There's going to be people that love us, people that hate us, people that are indifferent on us, and that's how the same with art is. Art has that same kind of reaction to people. Everyone responds to it a different way. Some people love a painting you're staring at, some people don't. Some people love a song you hear, some people don't, and so on and so forth. I don't know why, maybe it's because I love comic books, and maybe this is the old artist in me that comes out, but I do slopes on the shoulders. Usually that's there for like someone who's in shape, someone who's built, for example. You see that a lot in superheroes where their shoulders, at least to me, that's what I notice, is that their shoulders kind of have this like nice defining slump. It's a flaw of mine. I definitely would like to draw more different styles of body shapes. But it kind of works for Elan too, because I feel like if he's being created by scientists and stuff, he's probably going to be as close to perfect as you can, almost like the Terminator. That was I kept using as a reference, was the Terminator, and how Arnold Schwarzenegger is like this real specimen of a man in Terminator 2. He's just ripped as all to shred, and even in Terminator 1 to an extent, but definitely in 2, like he just looks like a beast. And it's kind of like, well, I guess that makes sense. If you were creating man, essentially, you would kind of Adam and Eve them. You would make them as close to perfect as you can, or at least an idea of what perfect is as you can. So yeah, we kind of have that, and then you have your collarbones and stuff for the most part coming in. Try to give it more shape, and then you have here we're gonna do the TV screen. Actually, I kind of want to do I like his third head the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this design that just kind of goes down. Hold on, I got to slow down for a second. I'm going a little too fast. Yeah, all right. So let's, so we got that. And then this, try to give it some shape. Even though it's not really an arc on his face, I just like to give the illusion of 3 dimensions if I can. And then we extend it. Extend the chin a little bit. Try to level it off. And then same with up here. His third form, I kind of base it a little bit off Gladys, if you're a fan of Portal, the video game. I really like the design, the idea of like a head structure, but then like something kind of, you know, built on top of it, and then having like a sensor in the middle, like a single eye. I just really like that design, and I know it's not exactly like Gladys, but it's pretty close. And the reason being is because I kept thinking of evolution. That's kind of the key of this storyline, and I kept thinking, all right, like what does something with like a TV head evolve into? And I know a lot of people think maybe I got the design of Elan with the TV head from Saga, and that's actually not true. There's a lot of things that influence the design. Max Headroom, for example, from back in the 80s, that kind of, not that he had a TV head, but I just always got this sense, like, from watching that it kind of was a screen. The screen you're staring at had his head in it talking to you, and it almost made my TV feel like a character in a way that when I was watching it. So I don't know, that was just my like weird kid interpretation of that. Yeah, so this, and then also there's another if you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid, there's the Cyborg Ninja from the first Metal Gear Solid, and this kind of has a little bit of that influence as well. I like the idea of Elan going from a TV with no sound, which kind of like an old retro black and white TV, and then in his second form he has like a flat screen, almost like in a tablet in a way, where it's a touch screen and it can rotate, so you can have it sideways and he can show you things in widescreen, and then have it upright and show you text or something like that. I really like that design too, and it shows that he evolves with the times. So this last one I wanted was kind of like the holodeck from Star Trek, where I wanted him to just straight up project images, around him. So this circle here actually can imprint in all directions that he's facing, for the most part. It can imprint a holographic image. So that's how in the storyline he actually shows some of his robots, that he has at the end, his followers and stuff towards the end of the story, how they're going to rebuild civilization, which is really cool. And I like that because in stories a lot of times you want to show, you don't want to tell, and I like building on visual things. As someone who struggles with visual storytelling, I wanted to really push myself with Elan, and anytime I could show something and not tell it, I wanted to. But sometimes I also had to explain it in words as well. But as long as I showed it too, I felt like I was going above and beyond what I normally could have done for this book and take it to a new level. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really glad that I could pull this off, and I know it took a long time for me to do this, and but I really hope that in the end people are really excited and like the final product. I really did try hard to do something special here. So then we have that. I'll go over it with black, usually black color pencil. And we got... try to stay, I don't really stay in the lines, because usually what I do is after this version that's like kind of flawed and scratchy looking and very sketchy looking, I pull out my light box and I'll trace it. I'll trace it onto a sheet of paper, and it'll be very clean looking. So yeah, I do use a light box for the final form of this. And sometimes I bother with erasing, but sometimes I don't. I might this time, because I don't think I'm going to do a final version of this drawing. I think this version is going to be the one you guys see, because this video is already running long enough. But it could have been worse. It could have been a lot longer, and it could have involved blood. So let's count ourselves lucky for that one. So yeah, we have... and I'm not the best artist in the world, but at the same time, I don't try to be. The fact that I can do this right here, and I can get it in under, an hour, is pretty incredible considering where I was before. So to me, every day is a baby step towards becoming the artist and the person that I used to be, while also factoring in the new person that I am now. And trying to keep a nice balance. Like I said, balance is key for me. So that's roughly what it is, and then I usually sign I don't know why I make the $sign, but I just think it's funny because it's the thing I care about least, but it's also the thing I need most to pay bills and everything and medical bills. So I don't know, the $sign has a bunch of weird, but anyway, so that's kind of what I did, but I'll lift this back up and we can talk for a minute. Yeah, I'm really tired. I don't feel good today. My head is really killing me, but I'm glad I was able to do that. Sorry, I always check. I didn't smell any, so it's fine. Yeah, I've had a long day, a long week, and I've been coming up with new things to do to add to Elan Vital while the digital copies are still being finalized. I find little things here and there to put in, and I thought it'd be fun to do a quick video and kind of just show you a little bit of my headspace and in designing and my process and all that stuff for basic sketches. And there'll be more design stuff and other things in the movie and in the book as well. So hopefully you like this, and I appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy Elan Vital.